Good morning, everyone. This is Evelyn. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to everybody. I love you guys. So today I have one union read and one twin flame read. The union read is 3D, 4D, 5D. And then the twin flame read. Some interesting messages came up again. So I'm going to get right into this. Okay. So this is the union read. These were both done yesterday. Okay. And the way I have this set up, for those of you not familiar, for the union read, the lower line is the 3D, this line is the 4D, 5D, the vertical lines is the feminine, the masculine on the right, and then the center is the bridge between, the underlying energy, the conclusion energy over here, and then this is the incoming divine feminine, and then the outgoing divine masculine over here. Okay, and then the read in front of you is this read here for the twin flames. And you see this is the Lover's card right here. Okay. Alrighty. So for the union read, it was done at 12:12 yesterday afternoon. The 17th, 17 is the star, and today's the 18th of the moon. So yesterday added up to the 25/7, which is the Knight of Wands, which means today then is the 26, which is the Page of Wands. And, you know, very similar energies between the Knight and the Page. Obviously, the Knight is more mature and could be more aggressive as well. Excuse me. And the trash truck just pulled up. That may be a message for you guys. And all the trash is being taken, too. That's good. I had some, construction stuff. I wasn't sure if they were going to take it or not, but they did. Okay. So the trash has been taken out. So this union read was done at 12:12 yesterday afternoon, like I said. 3D, 4D, 5D. The lowest line was the 3D. And we start with the underlying energy of the Page of Cups, the central energy, which was the Eight of Swords, and then the Knight of Pentacles was the closing card. So here's this message. So there's the heart open wide, the message of love, in a game of hide and seek with a proposal in the end. The incoming divine feminine is the transition or death card, Luna, which is the moon and strength. The 3D death and transition in calm lunar waters, breaking through the ring of fire and leaving karma behind, or the 3D. The bangle chomping at the bit in a mighty roar, the cry of release from the birth canal, the decrescendo. In the 3D is the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Nine of Swords, the divine feminine crystal skull, and the master of manifest and manifest done in 3D, the divine masculine and the Nine of Swords in the dark night, below ground, in the pits, and I was just getting in the Pleiades, ashamed and hiding and covering their face, it is what it is. Bridging with the King of Wands shaman as the sun rises over his left shoulder, or the divine feminine shoulder, and the right shoulder is a stone pillar to lean on. That 70s show and Cheech and Chong, or likes the bong or desert motif and earthy colors. Working with Mother Nature, or clearing the 1970s. In the 4D here is and the Pleiades coming up. Some of the masculines could be, multi-dimensionally in 2 different dimensions at the same time. That is possible as well. The 4D here is the Eight of Wands, Eight of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. The divine feminine taking a spin to color her world, keeping it tight and close to the center point, a lot of energy exchange, activity back and forth. Mr. Bill and ooh, only verbalizing from a 4D place, not the 3D, blending the fires to create a safe haven, space between, the buffers, the natural boundaries. The Divine Masculine is the Nine of Wands, wounded warrior, divide and conquer, almost finished putting up with drama and flame in hand, taking down the ninth to create space at the 0 point, the peak of the pyramid, the flyer, bridging with the 8 of Swords, seeing if the coast is clear, by the creek or the stream, but doing so without their eyes, only their feelers, field and stream, horse and hound. So I don't know if journals are coming up here. Releasing thoughts that don't serve and tools that wound. Illusions of the eyes instead of seeing with the heart. The heightened hearing, not just listening. The heart is he art and earring. His ears ringing. Able to tune in to what others are saying about him at 12:38, which is the Hangman and the Queen of Cups. And I whistled a little bit right there. The 5D here is the 7 of Swords, the 10 of Wands, and the 2 of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine passing downloads with the 2 men watching as get backed up. Divine Feminine passing downloads with the 2 men watching. As getting back up, it weighs you down. Oh, the downloads. So the Divine Feminine is passing her downloads with 2 men watching. As the downloads get backed up, it weighs you down to the ground, where there's then less space between you and the ground, with the magenta emerald balloon. And that can reference a bubble phase as well. The 12:43 is the Hangman and the 3 of Cups coming together, the Divine Masculine with the 2 crystals surrendering to balance and pink hue. The yin yang and dolphins and mysterious deep oceans and orbs and holes in the auric body. Secrets of being Christ-like or crystalline bodies and yellow submarine. Beneath the surface of deep emotions lie the confidence and the consciousness to bring up the dregs, or in other words, seaweeding. Bridging in 5D with the 10 of Wands, flame, changing to the orb, passing the 3rd baton in the 4th quarter to get to the light, purifying the fire as red falls behind, more subdued. Red, orange, yellow is going to white and gold, while still contains all the colors, but as one. So white is all colors, so it still contains the red, orange, and yellow, but as one. No longer willing to carry the burden of karma, meeting each other above ground as the passer and receiver, the pitcher and the catcher, coming closer together when it seems to be farther apart. The seam being the dividing line, disappearing, which is so funny because they were doing some work in my basement yesterday where he was asking me if he wanted me to patch up the seam. When seems to be falling apart, the seam being the dividing line disappearing, fading into nothingness in everythingness, leaving the burdens, the weight of the world, Atlas holding the head, the mind, the thoughtless words and actions. The Divine Feminine here is the King of Pentacles, Akashic, aka chic, Akashic. Very in, quote unquote, to clear your record and be pure of heart and soul, the master of your domain or independent website perhaps, with a lot of exchange back and forth in 4D, bringing the scatter into 0 point and passing messages from the 5D and up. 5D masculine is paying attention here. The Divine Masculine here is suffering in silence, walking through the shadow in the valley of death. I shall see evil. I shall look at it and process and know we are all human as one, seeking balance without judgment, just humans being, facing his 9 flames in the 4D and showing his true face and wounds, from crouching tiger to hidden dragon, facing all his demons and releasing to the universe in 5D, and Spirit's connecting with me, fully erect and looking up with eyes closed. No need to see, only feel with their knowing and trusting themselves. The outgoing Divine Masculine is the Page of Wands wheel and the Eight of Pentacles. As the Page of Wands with mask and burning desire, worshipped, expecting the woman to service them, to pray to them and kiss their feet, give all their flames to them, the child who has not matured their passion to inspiration. Peter Pan faces Hook, with one eye open and one eye closed. But which one? Destiny of Atom, Tom, at Om. And then home comes up, which Om is in home as well. It's H-E and then Om in the middle. He, Om. And remember that Om, the M is also the W, an E, and a 3, depending on which way you turn it, which if you make them box letters, the E and the 3 become 2 rectangles on top of each other, and then side by side. And then the W and the M, if you put them together, become 2 vertical rectangles if you make the numbers and letters in box. And then if you put the 2 together of the M, the W, the E, and the 3, it becomes the gift, the box with the 2 lines going both ways, with the ash on top, which looks like a bow, the A and E, which looks like a bow on top of the gift of the moment, the Om. The WM, the E, and the 3 becomes the gift with the ash on top, which is just the frosting. The ash is the frosting. The gift with the ash on top, the frosting. And here's Om. Om, the O of the 0 point, and then the gift, the M, the 0 point, the gift of the moment or Om-ment. The home with the Om, the home base. The atom, a tom or major tom. Again, the Om. Tom-tom, toggling up Om at 116, which is the Magician and the Tower. At 117, which is then the Star, we have the T and the T of the tom-tom, which then becomes the temper tantrum, or perhaps the pie. It's also the pie symbol. But the temper tantrum, and then the Om twice is O-M-O-M, which is O-Mom. The TT of the twins and the Twin Towers and the O-Mom. The pie and the O-Mom. The 0 point and the M, the Imana, and the 0, Imana. M-O-M, Imana, O, Imana. Imana is what the Pleiadians call she as God. L-O-L, Elohim, O, Elohim. Elohim, O, Elo, her. M-Ana, M-Mana, it literally means, the Ana means direction similar to up, like your second sense, but along the additional axis added by the 4th dimension. So how perfect is that definition? Again, that's A-N-A, that's a definition for that. With the M, which is the God, the M, I always think of the M like in James Bond, going back to M, the mother source. So then the axis came up in the atlas. The axis is the axe is, and the atlas is atlas. And I was getting the LA. I'm actually planning on going to Sacramento because we have to take my parents' ashes out to Oregon. But we want to go through Sacramento because my great-grandfather has some historical things there that we want to check out before we go up to Oregon. So LA, LAS instead of LAX, I was getting LA Sacramento. So axe is an atlas, LA and Sacramento, and then getting the GOG and the LU being like the MOM and the LOL. The MOM is like MOM, M being God. So God, oh God, and Lu. Again, it's just the polarities. And then here we have the axe is, which can represent like the X. AX is Atlas or LA or Sacramento. But also when Atlas comes up, it comes up as at last my love has come along. So that's coming up as well. Axe is and at last my love has come along. Spent working with crystals outside the E tower, the 3 tower, the W and the M tower, depending on which direction the wind is blowing, right, left, up, or down. Lining the steps with crystal towers and spirits connecting with me, and Austin powers. Austin, Texas, and Sacramento, California, both coming up here. Taxes and slings and arrows, joining and fastening, naughty people, the dog, tea, a drive, a call, and a shift. And at the end, a proposal by the Knight of Pentacles in their Sunday best. Okay, so this was the union read. And it was funny because I was looking up the travel time between Sacramento and Bend, Oregon, and then Bend up to Bellingham, Washington, because I'm going up to see my brother as well. And the first time was 7 hours and 3 minutes, and the second was 7 hours and 17 minutes. So perfect. And it was at 1:44 when I wrote down Sacramento. So the grid of numbers on the union read added up to 61 again, which the last union read I did also had an addition to 61, which is that Seven of Swords card, which is a card of taking a risk, inherent risk. The horizontal pillars added up to 9, 25, and 17, and then the horizontal ones, or that was the horizontal, the vertical ones added up to 15, 18, and 20, and 8. So the Sun, the Knight of Wands, and the Star, and then the Devil, the Moon, and Judgment, and the Strength card, with 61 being the culmination of all the numbers. The energy or sunshine or exposure, or Leo or Sagittarius coming up here with the Knight of Wands, getting their dreams by taking risk, or Aquarius coming up here as well. It's like the spring energy is lighting a fire under them to take a risk. The Devil Moon with Judgment and Strength could be Capricorn, Cancer, Aquarian, Dance. Codependent Lunar, Judgment, Announcement, Wake-up Call, and Judgmental Shadow Side coming up here. The Page of Cups was in there. We had 2 Kings, the Knight of Pentacles, and then the Page of Wands. So there's a King of Pentacles and a Knight of Pentacles, so there could be a father and child there. And then the King of Wands and the Page of Pentacles could be another father and child there, or the Mastering energy and the Seeker energy, so teacher and student. And then the Page of Cups opened up the read. For the Divine Feminine, there could be Scorpio, Cancer, and Leo energies, or transition of dimension. And on the Divine Masculine side, Libra was the only major arcana that came up, and to be inspired and serve, destined to be inspired and serve. So then we have the Twin Flame read here, and that was done. The SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut and dealt at 3:04 to 5. Again, we have the 3 of the Empress, the 4 of the Emperor, the 5 of the Hierophant. And then at 3:14, which we just passed 3:14, Pi Day, which is also the Empress and the 14 of the Angels, the Temperance card, the higher love. And also it came up with the Page of Cups at the end of this read, of Chalices, of Heart and Emotion, and Isis also came up. And the cards right there were 44 again. So again, bringing up the 144 and the 44 of grounding and integrating and mastering of love. And the 1 references the Magician embodiment of that. We completed this Twin Flame read at 3:28, which is the Empress and the 28 of the Twins, the 2 of Wands, or 2 flames in this deck. Also the choice of path there. And the major arcana were Transition, which is Death, the Chariot, Reason, which is the Emperor, and then after the read that you saw that card of the Lovers. We had 3 Wands, 2 Cups, 2 Pentacles, and 1 Sword. So heavy weighted on the side of the Wands. Passions and physical activity. Expulsion of energy. And actually entropy came up in this read as well. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. So 3 Knights and the Page of Cups. So 3 nights from today, which is the 18th, is the solstice. And I think that came up yesterday as well, or the day before when I did the last one. So the solstice being very important, it's that switch. It's the official new beginning of spring, therefore the official new beginning of the age of Aquarius after the winter, which is the hibernation time, basically the retrograde time of the year, to pull back in order to propel yourself forward when the spring gets here. And we just sprang forward. The numbers here were 55. That was the only double number, which is the Truth, the Ace of Swords. And then we also had significantly 2 and then 9, 10 begin again and again. 2 is the High Priestess. We also had 25 of the Knight of Wands, 59 of the Five of Swords, 24 of the Queen of Wands, 45 of the Five of Cups, 56 of the Two of Swords, and then 69 of the Ace of Pentacles, which is that, new life of perfect contentment. The code line was all about nature and the number 5, and 5 is the middle number, and it's all about expansion, which is that 0 point kind of energy, since it's the middle number of the 1 to 9. And nature was broken up into NAT and URE. And that's again URE. E is the 5. You are the change. So there's another message for you. So the code line today was all about fidelity and Sophia, right? The high energy, divine, feminine collective. Fidelity, Sophia source, the night being key in here. 3 nights are coming up, but also going into that good night, but the nighttime being key, of the Hierophant, which is also the freedom, the change, the expansion of the 5, and the transition northeast. Also expanding and contracting, the path to be, the ladder, right? The DNA, or Jacob's ladder may be coming up here, and going to the Father with Sophia source, night 5, or after death test being key, with transition of the waning moon, which we're in right now. And the number 4 was coming up here with the Emperor, the Emperor. Now the waning moon came up here. We're not only in the waning moon, but it came up as a definition, and also relating to entropy, the natural fire. So it's saying that the waning moon is the natural fire, and actually Penis was coming up here too, and the child. The natural loss of energy with entropy in backtracking in order to build up momentum to go forward again. When it's like a child being wet in the rain, in deep spirit, and practicing, exercising, and not eye hand, but eye foot coordination was coming up here in the waning moon. Like watch your step. Because there's a loss of energy or a waste of energy at the waning moon as you go down. So it's like a retrograde energy. So at 356 is the Empress and the 56 of the Two of Swords, and boxing and fists were coming out. So somebody definitely is having a fist fight here. And after death, ESP, your extrasensory perception being key, night 5 transitions of snow and edge. In the waning moon, again, the river and the house. The lip, significant here, to eat, is so saying your lip is for eating, not so much for talking. To become human is the tag question. After a boxing match, night 5, or 5 nights, so 5 nights fighting, that could be a game as well, transition, or literally a boxing match, the 5 nights transition northeast in nature naturally during the waning moon, the natural entropy. So we start this read with the Knight of Wands, and beneath it was the 5 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups. The Hermit recovering from exile by loving each other, the Knight of Wands upright with the Hermit energy there, with burdens, and the Page of Swords reversed, lying, spying, or just no word, or bad news, rumors, being strong and pacifying the beast, with kids, pets, or Leo, and choosing a path next to the Queen of Pentacles upright. And we had Virgo reversed, Sag, and Leo both upright here. The 6 of Cups, the kids, the siblings, the soulmates, the inner children loving each other and deliberating, or holding back an announcement until it's all sorted out, overworking to align, or when not working, not juggling, dropping the mask, the ball, breaking patterns, the facade, to end the pain by receiving affection, the Knight of Wands, lovers perhaps. Aquarius reversed and Gemini upright here. Confused, looking in opposite directions, up or down, instead of eye to eye, the burning bush or apple tree, taking a break from performing, to bleed out and make love. The gate wide open, that was confirmation there. The gate wide open, and that was my brother Jim calling, by the way, so that might be a name for you too. The gate wide open, the divine masculine concerned about bleeding, and divine masculine about performance, right? So coming together, I said the divine masculine, I meant the divine feminine. The divine feminine concerned about bleeding, like having a period, it's like coming together with someone romantically, and just the nature of things. The divine feminine concerned about bleeding, which is like the entropy time, right? The time of the waning moon, and the divine masculine worried about his performance. At 421 is the Emperor and the 21 of the world, taking off work to be love together. The 10 of Pentacles, family, business, community, or legacy, making magic, manifesting something to heal or in need of to heal, and dream a little that's not too outrageous. Leeks and flowers, roses and lilies, and springtime here. Gemini or Virgo with all the tools on board, and Aquarius reversed with Scorpio upright, maybe some sadness or arrogance or leakage between initiating and sudden events that pop up. Solving the problem, then springing a leak. Found it, popping the top, and then all hell breaks loose. Blowing their top, their crown, their mind, their cover. Or Gemini or Virgo sends Aquarius packing suddenly, or alternating highs and lows and eruptions and explosions, or epiphanies or sex and laying cards on the table, and a sudden brawl, a fist fight, or ending flirtation or casual sex becomes much more. And the underlying energies here were separation. Okay, there's time apart from your partner on the horizon is separation, the underlying energy. Beneath that was release your ex. So release your ex energy came first, and then a separation. So there looks like a big fight where somebody got thrown out. So obviously that's not going to be for everybody, but the tower is for everybody. So whatever the sudden event is, someone's depressed and someone's in their power. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles behind it, which can be a family, a business, a community. It can be the world as well, getting back on its feet. So after jealous rage, with axe in hand, narcissist hierophant reversed is out of control or losing their mind or their shit. Sovereign obsessing over their hair, DNA strands or cords or cutting cords. Codependent sharing and energy vampiring, stealing sexual energy and taking it and running with it. Sharing, drinking, or depression issues and leaving the truth out of the bed. Poison apples tied back together, and someone distracting with sex so they can steal from them when they're not looking. Or the divine masculine is having sex and the divine feminine is sharing the energy whether she likes it or not, or vice versa. And someone getting away with it in post-war PTSD and looting, where it's a free-for-all, right? And this is the boxing match is definitely the energy of post-war, because after the celebrations, everyone's confused as what to do. So then the PTSD steps in, your body's still in war mode, it doesn't know what to do. And then people start looting stores because they know they can get away with it and they don't know what else to do. So there's definitely that energy of that free-for-all. Spiritual partnership with number 27, the Ace of Wands. And beneath that, 57, teaching and learning with the Three of Swords, the separation, heartbreak, and perhaps just feeling stress in your heart or disappointment. The King of Pentacles reversed, the Hermit reversed, the Empress reversed, and the Three of Pentacles reversed, with Virgo reversed and Taurus reversed, a lot of reversed energy there, with issues at the workplace getting along, or the King of Pentacles reversed, or Hermit reversed, hiding behind the Empress reversed, as all frustrations let loose. A new life as the truth is told, creating instability, a move, a visit. Or work on the house, or losing a home, lacking faith, or did something stupid, or making fool of oneself. The wounded warrior about to give up, on their last leg, exhausted and defeated as the Emperor's out of control, perhaps is seeing things, illusions, or synchronicities, and heaven in their eyes. As the jig is up, or the stinger is, or sting operation, or the Emperor reversed is stepping down or retiring, can't keep it up anymore, with fungus and ladybug and ivy and grass, scaly skin and mistakes, and pulling back the curtains, blues and whites. So it's not being able to keep up with all of their chores anymore or their obligations. Aries is double down after imprisonment of the Queen of Wands reversed. That's the very underlying energy. And then options before them, the Emperor reversed, are all good with the Knight of Wands lover and a sudden crowning moment. And that could be a crown blowing wide open. An event, an epiphany, an orgasm, or jealous rage of the Queen of Wands reversed, perhaps with Aquarius in her chart, and or Taurus reversed, and Scorpio post-war vengeance at 503, which is the Hierophant and the Empress, which are both the Taurus energies. So going forward after this read is the energy of new love, separation and self-satisfaction, spiritual partnership, in a heated exchange, arguing or debate, delays in not telling true feelings with the High Priestess, secret or psychic abilities, the Queen of Cups upright and the King of Cups upright together, manifesting magic by holding back words. And I want to show you this here. All right, the King and the Queen of Cups are sitting side by side here. And this is after the read. An announcement or delivery or lashing out in split or lies, wanting the truth about energy drains, kids, pets, Leos out of control, or overexposed and depressed or arrogant coming out. And the King and Queen of Cups staying out of it, right? Wanting to keep their loving energy out of this kind of energy. We have Pisces upright, Virgo and Gemini upright, and Leo and Aquarius reversed here. So going forward in the read is the illusions or synchronicities of the Knight of Wands lover, perhaps freaking out post-war or demanding an apology, or to stop flirting in a spiritual partnership. Issues at work over flirtation and finances, F&F, flirtation and finances, with the King of Pentacles reversed, the Hermit reversed, and the Empress reversed, which that would be Virgo and Taurus energies reversed. One just being nasty, one with addictions, and one obsessed over split ends, and that could be hair or actual splits, with the Three of Wands jealousy or situation with jealousy and rage behind it. POW and suddenly ending the war, or post-war PTSD and looting, as the High Priestess or Viking princess or religious woman in a heated exchange with the Wizard, with the curtain pulled back, fully satisfied, and she not. In separation, with he offering love to the Queen of Wands reversed, who's imprisoned. At 522 is the Hierophant and the Fool, whether in her head or actually in jail with the Eight of Swords, or this could be house arrest or a work release program. So recently here is the Knight of Cups reversed, feeling rejected, jealous, moody, insincere, or could be a user who schmoozes up to everybody. The King of Swords is upright with the Six of Cups kids or soulmate broken in heated exchange with the King of Wands, seeing the synchronicities of patient angel and higher love, perhaps had an aha moment under the radar, or feeling a failure, attention-seeking behavior. At 527 is the Hierophant and the Ace of Wands, that new passion, or lighting a fire under your butt, right? The Queen of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed, standing up for themselves to those who would use them. The foundation, so they're both, one needs help and one's either pissed or keeping silent or verbally abusive. But the Page of Pentacles is a child energy in need of help, money, or opportunity. It can be someone who doesn't learn their lesson, or someone who becomes an opportunist because they have learned to rely on everybody else to get everything done. So standing up for themselves, the Queen of Swords and that Page of Pentacles reversed, to those who would otherwise use them. The foundation is the Chariot reversed or Cancer reversed. Broke, broken, broke up, broke down, broke in, or broke through. And the war and the chaos, emergencies of the Page of Wands, who's inspired to share and be charitable, or settle out. A big offer comes in to justice, to a judge, perhaps someone tried to pay a judge off. Justice judge for a divorce, so payment comes in for that, or to Libra, or just inspired to get this done already. So someone pays off something maybe they were holding back before. The central energy is the Five of Wands upright. A wave of fires, drama, expansion, competition, games, hot pursuit of synchronicities, patient angel, and higher love, or Sagittarius. The Knight of Swords reversed is lashing out and knocking someone out in a group of bad influences, or conflicted but holding their tongue to drop the facade with third party, or remove the mask in social distancing, no longer willing to do that, overworking that's not working out, and recovering from exile, destitution, injury, or illness, and walking away and not instigating a fight, whereas perhaps in the past they may have. Being a patient angel with others trying to incite a riot, but what happens when walking away doesn't work, and they come after you. The challenge being transition, death, end, and dark night, in a twist of fate, seeing synchronicities and being strong, trying to tame the beast. Heartbroken or separated and awake to sovereign connection, to pain and betrayal, post-war knowing and keeping to oneself about the past, a steel vault here. Unstable home, house or structure, moving, visiting, or the party is over. Under the radar or feeling of failure, and attention seeking or receiving negative attention, unwanted passion, exchange, or arguing, not telling true feelings and or desires, and the Page of Cups reversed, feeling rejected and depressed, caught with their pants down perhaps, or in the weeds, or the woods with sudden realization of third-party pain and suffering, and still able to find peace or go on vacation. Patient angel, one step at a time, going back or looking back or living in the past. At the Empress reversed, letting go of attachment to stuff and grounding, integrating resistance to receiving love. Now is the Nine of Pentacles, the Sovereign, the Independence, and the Knight of Wands upright out of the gate with help fending off others in the way. And it's like a famous person, you know, trying to get out where they have bodyguards keeping the people away from them. It's that kind of energy. The Hanging Man struggling to get out of chains of suffering and silence to end the nightmares of knowing and not telling and seeing synchronicities all the time. Coming clean and letting go to repair with Sovereign or to spend on independence, as the Two of Cups lovers the Two of Cups lovers comes up here. It's the Two of Cups, but it's the Tarot of Sexual Magic, so they're lovers there for sure. At 552 is the Hierophant and the 52 of the Queen of Swords. Perhaps one is a Taurus reversed here, or has Taurus reversed in their chart. The Knight of Pentacles reversed is stuck, and that can be that person with Taurus in their chart. They're stuck or being stubborn with the Ten of Cups reversed, unhappy family, or ending an emotional cycle. The Sagittarius female with an attitude, a drinker or potion maker, who likes perhaps white chocolate kisses and hooks. What's your poison? Looking for a home run or home in need of an alcohol run. Offering time, money, effort, or new life to the Hermit reversed, coming out about missing their flame in a twist of fate and a need to swallow their pride. The Page of Pentacles reversed, in need of help, money, or opportunity, or unable to get something new off the ground. They're not able to manifest something. Libra, Aquarius, and Virgo all reversed right here. An all business relationship is not working out, with girls always around, or women's body parts, or focusing on bodies and not seeing faces, or the Queen of Swords reversed with Libra in their chart, seen as cold due to the man in the mirror, the war and the death taking its toll. I was just getting Jethro Tull. Sagittarius comes up here, as well as Libra reversed and Taurus reversed. The Patient Angel without peace, with the Queen of Swords reversed with Libra in her chart perhaps, and the Empress reversed, spending their last dime, to not be bored. Soon for the twins is the Ten of Wands upright, working too hard to come out of the basement, the dungeon, the dark to the light, from pain and betrayal of the Queen of Swords reversed, flanked by the Sovereign who has everything, and the Queen of Cups who's loving, kind, and intuitive, or the Queen of Cups doing a healing session on the Queen of Swords reversed, or she could be healing herself, which may be hard work, connected to sovereignty in awakening process. Libra reversed, Leo upright, and the Queen of Cups rising above or awakening to the Emperor reversed, surrender to the upside down world, or the Emperor surrendering to the Divine Feminine in the 5D world. Aries reversed, surrender to Pisces reversed, and reaping rewards, daydreaming, with Sovereign upright and Page of Swords reversed, with rumors, spying, lying, or the Page of Swords child with a mouth or bad news, and no message. The twin flames here are seeing themselves as the Two of Pentacles reversed, trying to manifest peace away from dark night and death transition to end the suffering and silence, the stress, the being up nights, the headaches, whatever it is for you, and the nightmare, and walking away from all those emotions. The High Priestess secret, the psychic abilities, or an aide or a nurse, or one who won't tell, the secret keeper. The Page of Cups reversed, rejected and shy and vulnerable, or spoiled and entitled, or Pisces trying to instigate a fight, perhaps with Scorpio, but then just walking away and ignoring them. Past life, so the Scorpio ignoring them, their tries to instigate them, to trigger them. The past life relationship comes up here, and new love, as well as heart-to-heart conversations. And this is significant because the underlying energy is release your ex and separation, and then going into new love. And we have the Lovers upright at the end of this read as well. So around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Knight of Swords reversed, lying on the stand, or devil is surrounded and must surrender and raises their hand, right? Submitting to arrest. The Queen of Wands upright here, swearing she's done nothing wrong, yet inciting fights and jealousy. It's like the history of the woman who's a tease, right? To get men all riled up. The Queen of Wands upright, swearing she's done nothing wrong, yet inciting fights and jealousy, splits and wars. The Knight of Swords reversed, holding their tongue or lashing out. The verbal abuse, perhaps, or 39 lashes, taking one for the team. Capricorn upright here. The Knight of Swords reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed, and the Queen of Wands covering the devil's face, protecting her property, or just has a lot of suitors who can't get to her at 619, which is the Lovers and the Sun. Or a tease at 619, which is the Sun, again, the Lovers and the Sun. The block here for the twins is the Emperor reversed, the illogical world upside down and incomplete, the grounding and integrating an offer from the Divine Feminine in the 5D that frees them. And then there's nature, but even more so, change and environment, a green environment. Fantasy synchronicities and the turtle being slow to get it. The evil Empress reversed, abusing her sexual powers, and there may be two Empresses here. One is the evil Empress and one is just reversed. So she could be someone who's passed or is ill, but this evil Empress here may be abusing her sexual powers. And again, that's the tease, the one using their feminine wiles to keep other people down. So the evil Empress reversed, abusing her sexual power, with the Page of Cups reversed, no longer begging them for love. Deception with the Cancer reversed, or grieving loss and regret to find self-satisfaction. The Page of Cups reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed, living in the past, with the Empress reversed, letting go of any money she can get her hands on. It's like someone just pissing it away. As soon as she gets it, she spends it. So it's this Empress reversed, whether this is a mother who's passed, it's a mother who's ill, or a mother in lack, right, who lacks confidence or anything like that, you know, or someone who's needy for attention, that kind of thing. So it can be someone who's bossy and mean as well. So, but the Empress reversed is just the energy of power in a bad position, or someone who's sick or passed, letting go of any money she can get her hands on, and then bored or expecting more after that. Or 3 generations here of women, the Empress reversed, the Queen of Swords reversed, and the Page of Cups reversed, all expecting to be served. Draining, it's coming up as being draining, receiving big love from the partnership here with the King of Cups and his hostage lover. Or maybe he's feeling imprisoned. The King of Cups is upright here. And the lover rising above and reaping rewards of their efforts. The Knight of Wands lover broken, messed up, with the Knight of Swords reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed. Knight of Wands is upright. In a fight to the death, and this can be competition as well, the way people were raised, with Atlas and the weight of the world, and the Emperor reversed, abusing his powers, or perhaps that's someone who's passed away or is sick, or falling from power with Sovereign or sovereignty, and the Page of Cups reversed, rejected and loving themselves and rising above. The Emperor reversed, not doing so well, and perhaps the Sovereign is. The Hermit recovering from exile with the Six of Cups, the children, the soulmates getting along and loving each other. The Knight of Wands upright and the Knight of Cups reversed, with lots of options and synchronicities and affection. Planning travels or a move to come together with group for fun, and challenged by transition, death, and sovereignty in the wake of it. Dropping the act, the facade, the ball, to take difficult steps from dark to light. The Knight of Swords reversed, without reason or rhyme, for rejection of divine lover held captive, rising, awakening, and daydreaming, perhaps gardening here. The Sovereign, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords reversed, betrayed, the one that gets the attention, the one who gives love, and the one or part of her that is the war widow's heart, destroyed after the battle. Both his POW and his lover, he her savior and her perpetrator, the savages that we are, and the mother in the middle at 640, which is the lovers and the Page of Cups. All right, so now I'm going to pull some oracle cards there. And I watched the movie Savages the other night, which was the point, that we're all savages at heart, going back to basics as the caveman, and just living a very simple life and needing to survive. Or do we thrive? All right, so from the, and Spirit's connecting with me, and I'm really hot right now too. A lot of masculine energy coming in at 4545, which is the grieving card. So there's a lot of masculine grieving going on right now. It's 11:28 on the clock, which is Justice and the Twins. Justice is truth and balance. Or Justice at 28. All right, so the 45 is not only grieving, but just any, dealing with any kind of loss, regret, guilt, or shame, not letting go of the past. It's letting go of that third baton to run the fourth leg of the race. And it's been coming up this week, leaving the fire behind and going into the orb or the light. The fire being the drama, the ego, the karma, and moving away from the third dimension for good and into the fourth. And there's your confirmation there. Okay, that came right up. Indecision is the 8. And the Strength card was upright. So that's like this card being reversed, right? There's no need to be indecisive. If you're indecisive, that's a decision in itself. You're deciding to stay right there and not move. You can always ascend upward as well. And then we have financial constraints with the 13, or the Death card, which is also upright. So there's definitely constraints going on right now. And that has been coming up with the masculine as well. Like deciding whether to go one way or the other. Perhaps one decision would make him destitute with the 13, and trying to be strong. We have the 31 of the door to value, so trying to figure out, it's like cleaning out the refrigerator. So what does I truly value? What do I want to put in there now? And how do I want it organized? What does I really want? Not just having something to survive, but what is it that you have dreamed of? What is that? And then meditating on it. And this is very much in masculine energy today. Rest and rejuvenation, the 19 of the sun. So get some sun, vacation, and rest. Perhaps some meditation there for the masculine. And then 6th chakra Archangel Metatron, which is the 40 of the Page of Cups. This is the underlying energy coming in with that innocence and the abilities of the third eye opening, or the crown. And then the envy of the mother, the 20 of the judgment, right? The one making you feel guilty or trying to control you. And again, that dark empress was coming up very much so in the read. So it's like the dark mother energy. And remember, the energy is going dark to light. So if they don't want to come along, then they have to be left behind. Okay, dark to light. That's the energy, but very much about the masculine making a decision, right? Being destitute. Is it morally, emotionally, spiritually? How are you bankrupt? And discovering what it is that truly is your dream, what makes you happy every day, and then meditating on it, sitting with it, vacationing, resting, and rejuvenating. Maybe that is your dream, to just be at rest. All right, let's see what the Journey of Love has to say for you guys. Today is March 18th. Oh, it's my 6-month birthday. I know several people today. Happy birthday, Amy. Happy birthday, Jimmy. Happy birthday, Stephen. Those are the 3 people I know, March 18th. Okay. So, from the Journey of Love, what is our advice? What is our takeaway from this read, or these 2 reads? And these 2 just popped out. The Temple of 59, which is that 5 of Swords, Remember the war, and after the war, we're dealing with PTSD and looting here. And the temple. And feel how it's disrupted. There's a lot of vibrations going on there that are disruptive to the ceremony, right? It's kind of like having a wedding ceremony and there's an earthquake going on. It's like, ooh, how are we going to get through this? And that was a confirmation too. And I have lots of J's coming through because my brother and my daughter are both texting me, J's and J's. So J and J could be coming up as well. 33 is the Christ vibration, and the Seven of Wands, standing up for oneself as God speaks through you. That's you standing up for yourself. So when you're afraid to stand up for yourself, remember that you standing up for you is God speaking through you. Okay, the connection. Allow that. And stand up for yourself. Just because there's so many people here, and you're in the middle, people who are afraid to be seen in front of a crowd, which I definitely have that fear. Like I never used to get up in front of people because my heart would be in my throat. There's kind of that energy there of after the war, letting go of those thoughts, the Five of Swords, the war thoughts, because it's all about the thoughts. And instead of speaking through your mouth, allow God to speak through you, the 33 of the Christ vibration, the standing up for yourself. And it's like standing up, it's 11:33 on the clock. It's like standing up and being an example. You don't have to say anything. You just have to live the example of God speaking through you. And we're going to see what they say. We also have the soft coming up of the 47, which is the Seven of Cups, the heaven in your eyes, the dreams, the synchronicities, the choices that you have, and the softness of the pearl. Remember, the pearl is the bacteria that gets into the clam. Sometimes some of the most beautiful things in your life are the things you didn't plan for, the surprises. You didn't know that bacteria was going to get in there, and then the clam or oyster have to fight it off, which then would create a pearl. So it's again bringing up the fighting off of the war, which creates the pearl in the end. And to be soft and allow. Be soft. And that just came up too about guys and girls who work on the house. A lot of guys like to tighten things too tight, which ends up breaking things. Like a lot of things that are tightened don't need to be tightened, so that nobody else can open it again. Don't overdo it. You don't have to prove your worth. You don't have to prove your strength. It just needs to be enough, and that's it. So 3 to 1 is coming up with the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, the turn for the better. 3, 2, 1, jump. And jumping into the center, the vortex, where it's calm and soft, where dreams come true, not just survival, but dreams, into the vortex. And there's a mother, father, and a child here. That's the 3 to 1 energy of the Trinity, and the softness of it, the pearl. And then, of course, nature has to come up, and the gifts received. And we had the gift that came up. Oh, see? Yeah. There's 2 more cards that want to be seen. So the gift, I told you about the picture of the gift, the package of the square with a line down the middle and a line perpendicular to that, which is a present. And then the ash of the A and the E on top, which is a bow. The 11 and the 11, the upright 11 and then the 11 on its side is also representative of the butterfly and the caterpillar, right? The caterpillar becoming the butterfly, the transformation. The 13, right? That's the transformation. It's the portal. The gifts received, the cherry on top, the ashes on top, the sugar on top, the sprinkles. Okay, and then these 2 want to be seen as well. The 26 of the Page of Wands, the inspiration, and here again this is a close-up of this card. All right, but in different colors. So here's the upper chakras of the purples and blues, and then we get more into the heart here. The heart of the matter is the relationship between 2 people and the third energy, which can be a child, it can be a project, anything that you co-create together. But again, you see how the colors change. You're knowing and getting to this point, but then falling back into nature and your heart, which is the real point here, is the connection and the love. And there's the orbs of light instead of the fire. And you see how green this is, the heart, and living on earth. And then the towering magnificence of it, the 30 of the union, the Hieroskamos, the home, that where the heart is the home. And so much happens within it here. And again, you get that very disturbed energy on both ends here. You see how on both ends it's very, shaky there, where it's very smooth in the middle. It's like the outside of see how everything in the middle is more smooth, except for this middle card. You see the roughness on the edges a little bit. But in the midst of all that, and the spaces between, is where God speaks, and the softness of the pearl, the gifts received, and the guardian of the soul family, the twins loving each other and co-creating from their heart space amidst all the turmoil of the cyclone around them. The towering magnificence of the temple within your body. Okay, and then the bottom of the deck is Dream a Little, which is 51, the King of Swords. Okay, and the Shokure energy of the energy loops and coming back and around, the retrogrades, right? The entropy in order to propel yourself forward again. And then underneath that's the sacred convergence. Again, that roughness of the groups, of being with many people. And this I always get as the 9/11 underground coming up with the Pleiadians, because there's a Pleiadian ship I was shown coming into the Statue of Liberty. The 28 of the twin flames and the sacred convergence here. And Dream a Little of the 51, the King of Swords. That's the underlying energy. So we're going to look up the temple and God Speaks. And let's see what they have to say for you. So 59 is all about the war and post-war, PTSD and looting here. The 59 of the war, which always starts within. The lover and the beloved meet in sacred space. They take respite from cares of the world, entering into sanctuary where only they exist. You are in need of this. Meditation, making love, connection and dance, intimacy and surrender into the moment. Your body and soul need to enter into the temple and participate in sacred ceremony. Choose to gift this to yourself. Set aside time. Turn off the computer and mobile telephone. Turn on music and set the lighting. Be in the present moment. Do you remember your body? Ah, yes, here it is. Can you be in its temple with presence and delight? This oracle brings guidance to take time out to smell the flowers, savor the pleasures of life, and renew your connection to the inner lover. Your sensuality wants to come out and play. You're encouraged to explore scent, touch, taste, and feeling. You're encouraged to play with color. What moves you? What brings you into connection with yourself in this moment again? It is the wholeness of divine self-connection in sacred place that will best nourish you now. And the poem reads, love should be given as it is received. On this day I grant you the love of 1,000 mountain streams and the pleasure of 100 bleats. From a newborn baby fawn, for I too cry for love, and like the fawn, I cry with the hunger of being alive. And on this day I cry for the happiness of giving, and the warmth of receiving, and the softness of your gentle touch. It is moments like these when I smile for the someone who will always care. And then for God Speaks, which is 33, it says the divine is speaking to you directly. Underneath the silence there is the endless music of love, pulsating through the universe. Within that sacred sound there is guidance. It may or may not have words. It might be a feeling in your heart that you can only access when you are still, relaxed, dancing, in a yoga practice, or even half asleep. It assures you that behind any struggle or challenge there is only ever the divine seeking you out, calling you to surrender some fear or doubt or other, so you can move closer. Trust the sound of love beyond anything else, for in truth, no matter what may appear to be, there is nothing else. This oracle brings you guidance. It was just 5838, which is the 5D connection with the Queen of Cups. This oracle brings you guidance. You're being loved into becoming. Be open to being shown the divine genius in all that is happening. If you feel you're being nudged, know you're being nudged by the divine. If you feel you're being held back, know you're being held back by the divine. All is happening perfectly for you, and all will unfold in divine timing. The divine is speaking to you. When you're captivated by the beauty of nature, or in a logical sense that everything's okay, listen. That's the divine talking to you, reassuring you that all is unfolding according to spiritual law, in perfect cooperation with your own destiny. And this poem reads, when the first sound was born, the air was filled with fantasy, like the flower's sweet perfume. Alive in the moment, there was nothing else. Only the energy coursing through my body and the tears on my cheeks. I was carried away on the strings, each note striking a chord within, and answering with the emotions of my soul. how priceless the surprise, how powerful the memory to be with the violin when it sings. And this reminds me of the poem I had written last year, The Hanging Violin. So, and again, a lot of stuff that came up in this, definitely came up in the read. The surprise, you know, how nice surprises are, and the strings of the chords that someone's trying to cut. The pleasure of the good strings and chords that we are connected to. But again, and also being the example, not necessarily need to speak with words, but just with your heart and perhaps with music. So it was a very beautiful read today. Make sure you drink your water, guys. That's your connection to the other side. I was just 33 again with God Speaks. Make sure you get your rest, because you'll be grouchy otherwise. Make sure you get your joy and your nature so that you can feel good and connect to the earth and to the other realms when you meditate. And as always, be good to yourselves and rise and be love. I will see you guys soon. Have an amazing day. I love you all. Bye.